Hi there everybody, I'm Andrea from Primary Pilates. I'm going to take you through some Matwork exercises. These are essential and intermediate Stott exercises. So they're the basic end of the range of exercises that we do. I'm a Stott Matwork qualified Pilates instructor and also a personal trainer. Okay, so I have already done my warm-up. The warm-up video is on my YouTube channel, so please take yourself through those warm-up exercises first, because we'll be going straight into some of the essential exercises. I will give you the name of those exercises whilst we're doing them, and these are how Stott name the exercises, so there are other brands out there, but I'm using the Stott terminology. Right, okay, so the first exercise I'm going to do is the ab prep exercise, okay? I use a block behind my head because my posture is slightly with my head forward, so I use a little block behind my head. Please use a block if you know that you need one, and actually if it feels more comfortable with a small block behind your head, it probably is the best thing for you to be doing. Okay, so we're going to be sitting with our feet and our knees hip distance apart, and then roll yourself down and have that little block just behind your head. Now the ab prep exercise is with your spine in neutral, and you stay in neutral throughout the whole exercise. So our first movement is the head nod. So as you inhale, you nod your head forward. So your eye gaze goes from your red traffic light down to the green traffic light. You've stabilised your shoulders already, and you have a little neutral pelvis and neutral spine. So you inhale to head nod. As you exhale, you lift your head and shoulders, lifting the hands, reaching your fingertips towards your toes. I still have that little gap behind my lumbar spine, and I'm flattening my abdominals, and I'm lifting up on the pelvic floor. That was my exhale. Now you inhale to stay, again controlling those abdominals, and as you exhale, you return back down, controlling yourself back down. So it's an inhale to head nod, exhale as you flex up and forward, sliding your rib cage towards your pelvis, inhale to stay, and exhale, control it down. Let's go for another 4 like that. Flex up and forward, stabilising the shoulders, taking a breath in to stabilise here in neutral, exhale down. 3 more. And down. 2 more. Exhale, flex up and forward. Inhale to stay. Exhale down. 1 more. Inhale to stay, and exhale down. If you do struggle to hold the head up throughout, you can support your head with one hand, just so that because this is where you are challenging your deepest neck flexors. But if you find that it's just too much for those neck flexors whilst you strengthen them, hold the head, but don't yank the head forward. And ideally, you're going to swap your hand halfway through. Okay, another alternative, if you'd like to make it a little bit more difficult, you're going to head nod, you're going to flex up and forward, and you're going to add some little pulses. So these are pulses of the abdominals. So you can go for 5 pulses, and then again, take a breath in, control it back down, and repeat that maybe 3 or 4 times, so that you're adding in another level of difficulty. Okay, so that's our ab prep done. We're going to move on to breaststroke prep 2. So I'm going to come to this end of my carriage, my reformer. Now breaststroke prep 2, you can put the little block just underneath your forehead. The arms are down by your side. You can have the legs together or abducted, so either adducted or abducted. Okay, you control the scapula, so retract those scapula, keeping them in a nice neutral position. So our movement, we are pulling our belly button into our spine still, so you're lifting up on the pelvic floor. I'll take you through the breathing. The first movement is an inhale to retract your shoulder blades. It's an exhale as you lift and hover. You're looking down towards the carriage. You're lengthening through your spine. Your abdominals are pulled in, so we're making sure we're not pushing our tummy, our belly button into the mat. That was your exhale. As you inhale, you try and lengthen even further. You're reaching your toes away from you and the crown of the head away from you, and your shoulders are stabilised beside you. And then as you control it all back down again, you let those shoulders relax, okay? So we'll go through that again. Inhale, retract your shoulder blades. Exhale, lift and hover, making sure you're pulling your belly button towards your spine. Inhale, try and lengthen your whole body, lengthening through your spine and the crown of the head. And then exhale, control it back down again. Retract the shoulder blades. Lift and hover like a long, low line. Try and lengthen even further as you take that air down to the bottom of your lungs. And then down. Retract. Lift and hover, lengthening through the spine. Inhale to stabilise and exhale down. We'll go for 2 more. Last one. That was your breaststroke prep 2. So after that, you're going to sit yourself back into a shell stretch. So we're just going to release off your spine now. You're going to create that C curve in your spine. Have your arms down by your side and just flex that spine. There we go. A few breaths in and out, just to release the pressure in the spine. And then on your next exhale, stack yourself back up, drawing those shoulders back and down. Now we're going to go for the 100. There are lots of variations with this exercise. Put my block back up there. So I'm going to do the 100 with my legs in tabletop and my arms are down by my side. Again, if you have any difficulties with your deep neck flexors and you struggle to have your head held up for that amount of time, so if your muscles just, you feel like your head's drifting back, you can support it with one hand for the first 50 and then switch hands for the next 50, okay? If you want to take this up to the intermediate level, when you exhale, you can take those legs out onto the diagonal, and I'll show you that from some of the reps. Even harder is to have the legs on the diagonal for the whole 100. Okay, so let's have a go. So lay yourself back down. You're going to float one leg at a time into tabletop, this time imprinting your lumbar spine. So we've got our nice tabletop position, our knees are over our hips, and we can balance that nice cup of tea on our shins there. So inhale to head nod, exhale, flex up and forward. My spine's imprinted, my legs stay in tabletop. I'm going to inhale and pulse the arms for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 5, and exhale for 5. In for 3, 2, 1, and exhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 50. Let's go for the legs on the extension now then. 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale for 3, 2, 1.
Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to keep my legs out on that diagonal. In, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. And exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. So we're going to inhale, bend the knees in, even. Exhale, let the head and shoulders come down, and then place one foot down at a time. Okay, lovely. So that's your 100. There are various variations that can make it more difficult. So we're going to move on to obliques rollback. So the regular rollback is just where you're rolling under, so you're creating a C curve in your spine, and then you're using your abdominals to bring you over and forward. So the obliques rollback, you're going to add just a rotation into that, okay? So we're going to inhale to prepare here, and as we exhale, we're going to sweep our arm out to the side. We're still maintaining a C curve in the spine. You're going to inhale to stay, and then exhale, bring yourself up and forward. I'm sitting just back of my sit bones, so I'm not hopping over my sit bones every time. I've got that scoop in my abdominals, and my shoulder blades are nicely stabilised. So as I come forward, I'm trying not to reach the arms forward, I'm trying to keep them nice and stable. So as inhale to prepare, we're going to go the other way this time. Imagine you're sweeping your hand across the floor. Inhale to stay, and exhale, bringing yourself back up. Okay, inhale, and inhale. Feet stay nice and firmly in touch with the mat the whole time. Lifting up on the pelvic floor. Go for one more on each side. One more. And then, bring yourself forward. You might find your hip flexors are gripping there. So just, if you want, just release those off a little bit. It can make those hip flexors grip. Okay, we're going to stay with the obliques, and we're going to, or stay with working our obliques, we're actually going to do the obliques exercise. So we're going to be lying back down, and again we're going to be floating our legs up into tabletop position. Lay yourself down in a nice Pilates style. So float one leg at a time up into the tabletop position. Again, knees are over your hips, and you've got nice flat horizontal shins. So you're going to inhale to head nod. Exhale, you're going to flex up and forward. You're going to bring your fingertips beside your temples. And this time we extend one leg as we rotate the shoulder towards the bent knee. Okay, so that's your exhale. Inhale, you come back to center. Exhale, you rotate in the opposite direction. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Obviously, again, you can support behind the head if you need to. Ideally, fingertips are by temples. If it's too much, having those legs lifted, you can do it without lifting the legs into that tabletop position. You're looking to do 6 to 8 reps on either side. Okay, I'm going to float one leg up and let the other leg join it. And continue. Your focus is bringing the shoulder, not the elbow. One more on each side. Inhale to stay, exhale, let the head and shoulders come down, and place one foot down at a time. So that's your obliques. We're going to do the shoulder bridge exercise now. I'm going to take that block away. No blocks behind heads whilst you're doing shoulder bridge. You might need to bring your feet a little bit closer into your seat, so towards your bottom. Feet are hip distance apart. If you struggle with keeping your knees and your feet and everything nice and in line, like tram tracks, pop a ball, if you do have one. Even a slightly deflated football is fine, but a Pilates ball is ideal to put between your knees. Okay, so we're going to lay back down. Arms are down by your sides. The alternative with the arms is to bring them in front of the chest so that you don't feel tempted to press through the mat. Bring your feet close enough in. So we'll start with a few spine curls just to get us going, like we did in the warm-up. So you've got your spine neutral to start with, and then you're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, rock back, rolling and lifting and squeezing the spine, trying to keep your legs like train tracks and trying to keep those hips level the whole time. At this point, you're going to inhale and feel like you're lengthening your knees away from you. And as you exhale, you're trying to place one vertebrae of the spine down at a time. You roll through your imprint and back to neutral. We'll do two more like that. So inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift, roll and squeeze up to your full shoulder bridge position. Lengthen those knees away and then melt the spine down as you exhale. One more. Inhale, prepare. Exhale, lift and squeeze. Lengthen the knees away from you. Inhale to stay and exhale. Oh, lovely. Massaging your back into the mat. So we'll go into the shoulder bridge exercise. So this time you're going to inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you're just lifting straight up this time. No spine curl. Now you're going to try and lift one of those. So we're going to do the full shoulder bridge exercise. So it's an inhale, you're going to lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, you lower that leg down so it's level and in line. You're trying to keep those hips balanced and you flex your ankle. Inhale, lift and point. Exhale, flex and lower. Inhale, lift and point. Exhale, flex and lower. Inhale, lift and point, and then place that foot down on the mat, hip distance apart. Now we go for the left leg. Inhale, lift and point. Exhale, flex the ankle, lower it down level, squeezing those glutes. Lift and point, flex and lower. Lift and point, flex and lower. Lift and point, then place it back down onto the mat. You can lower the hips down if you need a little break from that. That is that's the full shoulder bridge exercise. A little bit more challenging if you haven't been doing a single leg bridge. Okay, if you feel that that is too much, your hamstrings cramp up, or you dropping down, your hips are dropping on one side, then stick with 2 feet down on the mat until you gain some strength in the glutes to be able to stabilise and lift one of those legs up. I'll do it again, so we'll go through it again. Taking ourselves back down. I would do about 6 to 8 reps of this full exercise. So inhale to prepare, exhale, lift and squeeze. I'm going to take my hands off of the mat. You're going to inhale, lift that leg up, flex it as you exhale, inhale, point, flex and lower, lift and point, flex and lower, lift and point, place that foot down, switch sides. Point the leg up, flex the ankle as you lower it level. Inhale, lift and point, exhale, flex and lower. Inhale, lift and point, exhale, flex and lower. Lift and point, place it down. You can keep going here. So you can lift and point, flex and lower. Lift and point, flex and lower. Lift and point, flex and lower. Lift and point, place it down. One more. Do you feel a difference on one side of the body to the other? Is it harder to keep one side of your hip lifted, just showing some imbalances in the body? Inhale, lift and point, then lower it down and bring that back down. So a nice little glute strengthening exercise there for you. I'm going to go over onto your front and we're going to do something called heel squeeze prone. I'm going to use this double block, or the alternative, I'm actually going to place my hands crossed over underneath my forehead. Now, heel squeeze prone, your knees are apart, you have your heels touching, your abdominals are pulled in, so your belly button is pulled towards your spine, and basically, just by pressing the heels together, you'll activate your glutes. Okay, so we're going to relax the head and shoulders down, so I'll be looking down to the mat, and hopefully you can still hear me. Okay, so inhale to prepare. Exhale, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the heels together. Relaxing those shoulders. Inhale, release the pressure. Exhale, press the heels together. Count to 5 as you're pressing. And release. Squeeze those heels together, making sure that you're not pushing your abdominals into the mat at the same time. Try and relax the shoulders. And breathe in and exhale, press those heels together. And we're going to keep that pattern going. Relax the shoulders, engage the abdominals, squeeze the heels together. Squeeze them together. Activate those glutes. Go for 2 more. So relaxing the shoulders, pull the abdominals towards the back, you're going to squeeze those heels together, activating your glutes. And 1 more. Lovely, releasing those down. I'm going to go into side kick exercise. Okay, so with side kick, a few points with this. The first position to be using is with your head rested onto your arms outstretched. Your shoulders are stacked and your hips are stacked on top of each other. With a side kick, we bring both straight legs forward to about 45 degrees. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take myself back a little bit on my reformer just so I don't fall off. Take my arm up, angle my legs slightly forward. The one thing to think about is you are still engaging your abdominals. You should be able to slide your hand underneath, so you're not just letting go here and sinking into the mat or the floor. So you'd be able to slide your hand. If you need a little bit of support with your hand onto the mat in front of you, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so you float the top leg up. It's going to be level with the mat, so it's parallel with the floor. Okay, so you flex the ankle. This is side kick on the essential level. You're going to inhale as you bring that leg forward. Inhale, inhale, inhale. You're trying to increase a little bit further. And then as you exhale, you point your toe and you squeeze the leg back. Inhale, bringing that leg forward. You're feeling that lengthening of the back of the hamstring. Exhale, squeeze, taking the leg back. You're maintaining the same height throughout. And exhale back. Inhale forward. And exhale back. Inhale, sweep the leg forward and exhale. Reach those toes away from you. Maintain the same height. Keep the hips stacked. Keep the shoulders stacked. I'm going to go for about 10 on each leg. So we'll do, first of all the exercises on one side and then the other. That's it. Keep the hips stacked. Feel that length in the back of the hamstring and then squeeze that leg away from you. I know that some people have shoulder issues and they struggle with this position, there are a few alternatives. So you can come up to your elbow. But if you do come up to the elbow goes right underneath the shoulder and you engage the whole of the torso here. You engage your abdominals. We're not sinking into this. We're not sinking into and flexing down on the side laterally here, and we're not getting into this position. We're lifting up and out and we're staying stable as we inhale. It is actually more difficult. It's definitely more challenging, okay? So you're trying to keep your neck in line with the thoracic at the same time here, whilst lifting out of the shoulder. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Another alternative, if you haven't got, you can use an arc barrel. So you could have your, if you have one of these, you can use an arc barrel and you can just rest your hip onto the side. So these are some alternatives. So you're using the barrel there on your side, or build up some pillows or cushions, or using one of the balls. Now this is quite tricky as well. So you're going to come up with, if you're using the ball, you're not going to be able to necessarily maintain that whole height there. But you inhale as you bring the leg forward, exhale as you squeeze back. Inhale, 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 exhale, squeeze. It is more challenging. You've got the ball there which is making you more unstable. Make sure that's nice and secure. And you've got a few alternatives there. Okay, so we're going to stay on this side just to start with. We're going to do side leg lift 1, okay? So this time I'm going to go back down to our essential level. Hips are stacked, shoulders are stacked. This time the legs are in line with the rest of the body. Keep your eye gaze looking straight in front of you. So this time you're going to inhale as you lift and point, and exhale as you flex and you squeeze that leg down. I've still got my tummy muscles engaged, so I'm pulling in tight on that belt. Inhale, lift and point. Exhale, flex and lower. And 3, so that's 4. And 5. You're reaching those toes away from you. And squeeze it down. Imagine you're resisting with your own muscles, so it's almost like you've got one of the Pilates balls between your legs and you're having to squash it down each time. 2 more. And now I'm going to skip straight through to the side leg lift series 4. This is number 4. So this is an inhale to prepare. I'm going to support myself with my hand in front of me just to show you. So it's an inhale to prepare. Now exhale, lift both legs up. Inhale, lengthen them down, and exhale, 2, and 3, 4, 9 and 10. So I have my toes pointing, my legs were squeezing together, so I was using my inner thighs to squeeze my legs together, and I was trying to lift them both at the same time. Okay, so we've got the other leg to do, the other side to do. I'll stay facing this side for you. So we've got that side kick, the first one. So the essential level of the side kick, you're taking yourself towards the back of the mat, reaching the arm down. Remember those alternatives that I gave you. I'm angling my legs forward. I'm keeping my hips stacked, so I'm not tipping my pelvis. I can slide my hand underneath where my rib cage and my tummy's pulled in nice and tight. Again, keeping my eye gaze straight in front. Float the top leg up and flex the ankle. Okay, so it's an inhale as you bring the leg forward, and then an exhale as you squeeze that leg back. Breathe in, forward. Breathe out as you squeeze the leg back. You're trying to maintain the same height all the time, so you don't let the foot drop down as it comes forward. The challenge is to keep that leg nice and parallel. With 5 more. Shoulders are staying stacked, so I'm not allowing my shoulder to drop forward. My eye gaze is straight in front of me. And my waist belt's pulled in. Last 3. One more. So we're going to go back to that side leg lift series 4. Keep the legs, hips are stacked, legs have gone straight, so you're in line with the rest of the body. Keep your eye gaze straight in front of you. I've got bony hips, so I'm going to use my hand to help support me here, but I am keeping my shoulders nicely stacked. Pulling your waist belt in. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift both legs. It is challenging. If you've got bony hips like me, inhale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Using that forced exhalation through those pursed lips to engage your deepest muscle, your deepest abdominal, your transverse abdominis muscle. Three. Last 2. One more. Okay. Also going to do that side leg lift series 1. Different order this time. So this time again, whole body in straight line. We're going to do inhale as you lift the top leg, then you flex the ankle and you squeeze it down. Imagine you're trying to let your toes touch the far wall. So you're really leaning, stretching that leg out, and then you're flexing and squeezing it down, reaching your toes away from you. Keep your waist pulled in so you can slide your hand underneath the whole time. Keep your shoulders stacked and keep your hips stacked. So point and then flex. So 10 of these. 2 more. That's your side leg lift exercises that we're going to do today. Okay, so now we're just going to do a little bit of spine stretch forward. So this exercise is one of the essential exercises. Ideally, you're sat with your legs straight in front of you, but sometimes if that feels too uncomfortable, it's ideal to sit on a block, one of the bigger blocks, sit on a couple of, a pillow, or you can cross your legs if you need to. We just don't, the position we're wanting is sat up with our spine neutral. We don't want to be sitting slumped. Because if you have tight hamstrings, you can really struggle with this. So you're trying to sit up and you're trying to almost pull those sit bones a little bit underneath you, okay? So your eye gaze is straight in front of you. You're flexing your ankles, so you're dorsiflexing the ankles. You take a breath in, and then as you breathe out, you drop your chin and you try and flex forward and you slide the hands away from you. As you inhale, you stack everything back up and you keep zipping up through those abdominals. Exhale, drop your chin, slide your hands down. Get your fingertips to reach towards your toes. Inhale, stack yourself back up again. Okay. Exhale, drop your chin. Inhale, use your abdominals to help stack you back up and draw those shoulders back into a nice neutral position. Eye gaze straight in front of you. We'll go for 2 more. Imagine there's a pole behind you, and as you sit yourself up, you're stacking yourself one vertebrae at a time back up that pole. Inhale, use your abdominals to help stack you back up again. We're going to go back onto your front now, okay? We're going to do something called single leg extension. So as you can see, we're mixing things up. We do some exercises laying on our backs, and then some we come over onto our fronts, just to help give you a full balance workout here. So single leg extensions. You can cross your hands over underneath your forehead. Your legs can be either adducted or abducted, so either together or apart, however feels most comfortable with your pelvis. You do keep your abdominals engaged, so pulling back your belly button to spine the whole time, okay? So the idea of this exercise is you're going to be lifting one leg at a time. Okay, so it's an inhale to prepare and an exhale. You lift that leg and you're reaching those toes away from you. You're almost trying to get the thigh clear of the mat. What you're avoiding doing is rotating. So some people try and lift too high and end up lifting the hips off of the mat. We want to keep the hips, the front of the hips in contact with the mat the whole time. So I'll have my head down, but you'll see we're going to go for 8 on each leg. So inhale to prepare, and as you exhale, lift and reach those toes away from you. Try to relax your shoulders as well. Switching legs, so change legs. And lengthen that leg down as well. Keep your abdominals pulled in. Halfway. Go for 1 more on each leg, relaxing those shoulders, keeping your abdominals pulled in, so belly button to spine. If you want to make it even more difficult, you can do both legs together, so double leg extension. It's an inhale to prepare, exhale, lifting both legs, lengthening towards the wall, okay? Lowering and again lifting. Lovely, nice double leg extension. I'm just going to take you through the swimming exercise now. Okay, so there are various levels with swimming. We'll do swimming prep to start with. Okay, so swimming prep. Wrists are underneath shoulders. Spine is in neutral, okay? Belly button to spine the whole time. Shoulder blades are slightly retracted. Knees are underneath hips, okay? You've got this nice box position. So swimming prep exercise, you inhale to prepare. I'm looking down towards the mat, but I'm lengthening my thoracic. I'm not letting my head drop. So I'm trying to keep a nice neutral spine the whole time. So it's an inhale to prepare. As you exhale, you'll lift. Let's go for the right arm and the left leg. Now you're trying to keep the body nice and level. You're trying to lift the arm up to reach it by your ear, so it's almost by your ear, and you're trying to straighten that leg and have a nice straight line all the way through those lifted limbs, okay? You inhale to lengthen, and then you exhale as you bring them back down to where they started. Do watch that you don't bring your knees too close together, because that can then make you a bit unstable. Still keep that belly button engaged, okay? So it's an inhale to prepare, exhale, lift and lengthen. Inhale, reach even further, and exhale, control it back down. So this is a swimming prep exercise. We'll do A couple more on each side. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down. Okay, so to take that on a level, the swimming exercise, you come down, lying down onto the mat, and you lengthen those arms out. You can take the legs abducted, and you're still pulling your belly button into spine. So the first level with this swimming exercise down on the mat, you're going to be lifting alternate arms and legs and opposite arms and legs. So it's an inhale to prepare. This time I'm trying to lift again my right arm and my left leg, and you're lengthening through. You're still keeping your abdominals engaged. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, down. If you find that too difficult, take yourself back onto your hands and knees and stick with the positioning with on your hands and knees. If you're finding this too easy, the next level on, we'll go for this as well and show you. Inhale, exhale, lift both arms and legs, and you're paddling. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1, and exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is just like the 100 breathing. So you count in for 5, and then you breathe out for 5. Okay, you keep your abdominals pulled in. Just make sure you're not forcing your tummy into the mat, and you're trying not to rock the body too much. So to finish, inhale, and then exhale down. Right, okay, so we've been on our front, we've been working in some gentle extension, so we're going to now flex the spine. So we always finish off with a little bit of a shell stretch here, okay? So flex forward, release that pressure that you've just built up in your spine. A few breathing patterns here, so inhale and exhale. And then you're going to stack yourself back up. Lovely. Well, I hope you enjoyed that today. So that's taking you through some of the essential and intermediate exercises with the Stott on the Stott repertoire. If you like this video, please click like on my YouTube channel and subscribe so that you can see more videos soon. I'll see you soon.